Good morning. Welcome to the Takeover. I'm your host, KHISHA BRIJON, along with the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez. And if you're in the need of your daily dose fix, we are here to feed your addiction. How you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
As always, you look lovely. Or what, can a man be lovely or handsome?
You know what? A king could be lovely.
Okay, well, you look absolutely lovely today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
So what are we getting into? Today we're going to talk about NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs.
Game 5 and what the Spurs need to do to wrap up Game 6.
Well, first off, do you think the Spurs are going to wrap it up in Game 6?
I think the mastermind that is Popovich will come up with something to put that dagger into the Heat today. So, yes. I called it last week. I said Spurs within 6 if they can take an early game, which they did in Miami. They took Game 1. I still go with my prediction, 6 games.
Yeah, I think Popovich, like you said, he's going to pull something out of his bag of tricks. Might have something that the Heat have not seen yet. And I'm willing to bet that was my prediction also, Game 6 Spurs. And I really think it's all matters on what Ginobili does. Manu Ginobili, he was non-existent in the games where the Heat lost, and he actually showed up, so we could take him off that milk carton we were talking about.
Right. Well, maybe it has to do with him starting. You know, he started his first game in the season and postseason, and maybe it's just a psychological thing. If I start, I do well. If I come off the bench, I don't do so well, because he put up 24 points starting.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's been a no-show games 1 through 4. So.
Yeah, it was by matchup that Popovich inserted him in the starting lineup. The Heat went small and started Mike Miller over Udonis Haslem and put LeBron at the 4, and they ended up winning Game 4. So Popovich's counter to that was to start Ginobili in Game 5, and Ginobili went off because guess what? He was one-on-one with Mike Miller. And if you know anything about basketball, you know Manu Ginobili is going to eat Mike Miller alive, and that's what he did.
Mike Miller, he put up a big fat 0 in Game 5, and I was kind of wondering why he kept Miller in and maybe not counter with maybe Chris Anderson, give him like a defensive spark off the bench or something. I mean, he just kept him in, and I was wondering what he was doing or what he was thinking.
Honestly, I don't know what he was thinking. Mike Miller really hasn't played all year long, and so they tried to insert him, I think, in Game 2 or 3, and he went hot a little bit and put up some points. Now you're trying to start him, and he hasn't started all year long. That's why the Spurs, you can't do that to the Spurs. They will expose that, and that's exactly what happened in Game 5. Spoelstra has no choice but to change up the game plan. He cannot start Mike Miller. I mean, Popovich, the same thing will happen. Ginobili will eat him alive. All it takes is one screen to get away from Mike Miller. His defense is not good at all. He's known for his three-pointers, and I just think Ginobili is the X factor here. So.
Okay, well, yes. I mean, everyone says that the Spurs don't have a chance of winning the series without Ginobili stepping up to the plate. I kind of agree with that a little bit, but not so much. I think as long as Danny Green continues to show up, Neal continues to show up, Leonard, the no-names on the Spurs, as they continue to show up, they have this series wrapped up. Green, what a shock. He is like the shock of the series.
Ooh, yes,
that boy is on fire. If this was NBA Jams, every time he makes a throw, the net will catch on fire. He is now the 3-point leader, NBA playoffs, all-time leader. He beat Ray Allen. And did you see his face?
Oh, Ray Allen was so mad about that. He was so mad, and it was great to see. You know, Ray Allen's a good basketball player, but he's always been a thorn in my side. So to see that happen was great, and it's a role player that, like Danny Green, he's like a journeyman, they say. He's been on a few different teams, and for him to have that NBA Finals record, possibly if they win, get the MVP, like that would be huge for his career. It might get him extremely paid.
And think about it. The Spurs cut him twice.
Yeah.
He's been cut by the Spurs twice. Now look at the damage he's doing. Yeah. Another surprising factor to me was the way Diaw shut down LeBron. LeBron only shot 10% with Diaw guarding him. He still got the 25 points, but shut down. Awesome job, guarding LeBron. Awesome.
Great job. And it's been a team effort on him. Leonard's been there, but he's getting help. Like Green's coming in and helping, Diaw's helping, and LeBron's he's not seeing the same look, so it's hard for him to get comfortable. And it's amazing to me how the Spurs, they're coached so well. They're so disciplined, and they have no egos, and they all listen to their coach. And that right there is the sign of a great team.
A great leader, right.
Great leader, great team. And before we go on, I want to give ourselves props real quick. First of all, you're the one that said Danny Green, and I have the clip right here. I'll show you right now. you were the one that said Danny Green was going to have a good series, and sure enough, he's the one that went off. And I'd like to give myself some props because I was the one that said LeBron would probably average in between 20 to 25 points per series. You know, a couple people didn't believe me. They'll name nameless for now.
Whatever.
But LeBron, he had his 30-point game, but all the rest were like 15, 16, 17 points.
20, yeah.
And it looks like his average will be exactly what I thought.
About 25,
yeah,
right.
And it's due to the good defense by the Spurs. The Spurs are playing lights out defense. They're playing discipline. They're not giving up they're not giving him no lanes to the basket, forcing him to shoot. And it's good to see if you don't want the Heat to win.
well, you know, the Spurs, they lead the series 3-2 with that 114-104 victory over the Heat. Now they have 2 chances on the Heat floor to hang that 5th banner. I personally think regardless if it goes 6 or 7, they'll take it. Hopefully, they'll be the first team to win back-to-back games in this series. No team has won a back-to-back game, so they can close it out tonight. But if not, they'll take it in 7. I pretty much will guarantee a Spurs.
Yeah,
a Spurs win.
The Heat really couldn't do much. The Spurs shot 60% from the field throughout Game 5. So even if the Heat played a good game like that, there was nothing you can do. The Spurs were just making shots.
But you know what this also tells me, and I don't want to put a wet blanket over anybody's championship victory, but the last year there was kind of a fluke. They played a short season.
Oh no, throw that blanket. Throw it.
You know, 6 to 7 games. You know, they won the NBA championships. Big deal. Now you play an 82 game season, 82, 83 game season,
82.
And now you're seeing what it's like to run with some real people, the big boys. You know, a mature team who has once again one of the most brilliant offensive minds in coaching in Pop. So now you see how it really is to play with the big boys. You got a fluke championship last year, and I'm sorry, all you Heat fans. It was a fluke.
I'm not sorry.
It was a fluke. It was definitely a fluke.
Yeah, they've done it. The Spurs, they have no ego. There's no egos whatsoever on that team. And I would say Tim Duncan, if you know basketball, he is easily a top 10 player of all time. He's got 5 championships. He was a crucial part in all 5 of those championships. Or he's going to have 5. He has 4 right now. He will have 5 once they take the Heat in 6, like I promised. But anyway, so yeah, I think he's going to go down as one of the top 10 players of all time. They were comparing him to Kobe, saying he might be one of the best players of our generation, but Kobe's the best player of our generation. Shout out to Kobe Bryant.
So the Laker fan says, but that's an argument for a different show.
Yeah. But yeah, I look forward to Game 6. Will be coming up tonight.
Yes, I cannot wait to see what happens
in Miami.
Now, moving on to other NBA news that we have, let's talk some Clippers and Celtics talk with the coach trade or the negotiations on the table for Doc Rivers and Kevin Garnett. I can't wait to see what happened. Negotiations opened back up. I want to say yesterday, I believe. They took Bledsoe off the table, so he's no longer a negotiating factor. But Lee and Terry, they want the Clippers to pick up either one of their contracts to give them some cap space, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what goes on with that. I would love to have Doc Rivers and KG,
I think it's going
play
down.
for the Clippers.
Celtics are in rebuilding mode. I think it's going down. The Clippers, they look like they're going to get Doc Rivers and Kevin Garnett for 2 first-round picks from the Celtics, along with the contract of Jason Terry or Courtney Lee to the Clippers. And that's not the only trade the Clippers are looking to make right now.
I have not seen it.
No. I've heard it. I've heard it.
And I'm not, I have not seen
my inside sources tell me that they're working on something. Because as you know, Chris Paul wants to play with Dwight Howard.
Okay.
They got in trouble because they were conspiring with teams to play together.
Well, but what I've heard is something different than what you've heard. But you go ahead and finish your theory, and I'll tell you what I've heard. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, from what I'm hearing is that they're going to do a sign and trade with Dwight Howard, possibly, and they're working on it. Dwight Howard will get signed with the Lakers, then traded to the Clippers in exchange for Blake Griffin and Eric Bledsoe. So, I mean, that's talent going to the Lakers. I wouldn't say it's a lot of toughness, but it's talent coming. And I would, as a Laker fan, I'd accept that trade because chances are Dwight's probably not going to re-sign with us anyway.
I've heard something similar. I've heard that they are looking into negotiations for Dwight Howard to come to the Clippers because CP3 doesn't want to play with him. But I have not heard them giving up Blake Griffin. I heard Bledsoe, but not Griffin. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens. The only thing that worries me about that is before they start doing all these trades and negotiations, let's lock CP3 up first. We don't want to pull a Dwight Howard and get all these trades going in, get new coaches, and then you don't even sign with the team.
But this is the reason why they would get CP3 locked up. If they can get Dwight there, CP3's there. He's as good as he's going to be a Clipper for the rest of his career. If they get Dwight to LA to be a Clipper, they will get him there. Like, they will sign CP3.
Well, if Doc Rivers becomes the coach, they're going to need a Dwight Howard because the other part of that deal is to send DeAndre Jordan there, which kind of makes me sad. I'm a big DJ fan, but you know, I'd rather have Garnett than DJ's. I love you, DJ. I really do. It hurts you so much, but
it's kind of the same
I
player.
would take
Kind of. They both can't make their free throws.
No,
they don't have really...
KG gives so much more of a spark to that team, so much more of a defensive edge. DJ is good if you want to do alley-oops and dunks. And
I'm talking Dwight and DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, okay.
No, not KG.
I thought you were talking KG. I was like,
no, KG's
not
in the
even
world of his
close.
own.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
No, I'm talking Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre's a little bit tougher than Dwight.
Yeah.
A lot tougher
I'll give
than
you that.
Dwight.
You know, Dwight hasn't re-signed yet, but the minute he resigns, I'm going to make that argument that he's not.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. Well, that is all that we have for you today with NBA news. You can catch me on YouTube at KHISHA BRIJON.
And you can catch me, Richard Lopez, the King of LA Sports. Catch me on Instagram, the King of LA Sports. YouTube, the King of LA Sports. My new Facebook like page, you can go like that. The 100th like will get a free trip to the Dodger game with me, VIP seating. Twitter, Rich Lopez, KOLASE. And once I have more, I promise I'll let you know.
Well, we thank you for joining us here at the Takeover. Until next time, may the sports be with you.
And don't be afraid to roll the dice.